What is wrong with the Chiefs at 2-3? And are the Chargers going to win the AFC West? They're looking like one of the best teams in the league, if not the best.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Chiefs, what the fuck's wrong? And the Chargers, killing it. What you got?
It's not that hard to figure out. All you got to do is watch the game, and you can tell. But I'll throw a couple stats. This is the biggest one. It's pretty simple, okay?
All right, let me hear.
Their offense gets 30.8 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
30. That's great. That's a lot of
Yep.
points per game through the first 5 games. Their defense, however, I'm going to say this. They're 32nd in points allowed per game.
Mm-hmm.
For all you geniuses out there, there's only 32 teams. So they're fucking awful. They're the worst.
You mean
in the
they're
league.
last?
Yeah, they're last.
That's what that means. 32 of 32?
32 out of 32.
Okay, I mean, that means
Yeah,
last. All right,
exactly.
cool.
They're just terrible. They give up 32 points per game.
It's good.
How they even won 2 games, I have no fucking idea. Because they give up more than they get. That's typically the result of a loss every week. But they got a couple wins.
Oh, I know how they did. They played the Browns, and then they played the Eagles. Browns are pretty good.
That's true. And then they
played the
play one of the best teams in the league against the Bills and got obliterated.
I called that.
You did.
Yep.
You did. Well, you're also a Josh Allen guy. Even if the Chiefs were 4-0, you probably would have called that.
I mean, no, but I do love Josh Allen.
You do love Josh. I like him now, too. I hate he's in my division, but I like him. But also, real quick, if you want to talk about defense, now's the time. I was going to transition to offense. If you have anything to say about that awesome defense of theirs?
Well, we know their defense has been great for the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, they've been so
Under the
good.
Mahomes era, their defense has been great. It's not like they rely totally on Mahomes in their offense.
No, they don't need 35 a game to win.
No,
Just like 33.
Their defense has been great. I'm
Yeah.
exaggerating a lot.
Right.
They fucking
Sarcasm
suck.
is awesome.
They
to talk about.
suck. Sarcasm. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So yeah, the defense is trash. Like you said, they are the worst in the league at 32.6, right?
That's right.
Points per game. They are second worst in the league in yards allowed.
Yep.
Worst in the league in points allowed. Fourth worst against the run. And
Keep going.
fourth one against the pass.
There you
So,
go.
yes, they suck. However, allowing 29 to the Browns, you got to look at the teams they're playing. Offenses. Browns' offense is pretty good. 29 points allowed with them.
Eagles' offense is not good at all, in my opinion, and they gave up over
Getting
30.
to them, Nick. You're going over my head
Oh,
here.
okay. Sorry.
I'm going
You're
in order.
there, I
I'm
can
going in
tell. All right,
order.
you're
I got
getting
to
there.
build it up.
Go ahead.
All right, so the Browns 29 points. They got Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Odell. It sucks, but anyway, their offense is pretty good. You got the Ravens. Their offense has been pretty good for a couple years now. Lamar Jackson, we thought, was not going to pick it up in the passing game, but he has. He's been doing
Best
really
passing
good,
season he's had
surprising
so far.
us and making the doubters and the haters wrong, like us.
Mm-hmm.
But they allowed 36 points to them. Good offense. Chargers, they allowed 30. We'll talk about them in a minute. They're fucking great. The Bills, 38. Josh Allen, that's my boy. Has been since he got drafted. And then, the Eagles, they don't have a good offense. However, they just kicked our ass. Talk about
Not
that.
offensively, though, but...
Right, but we'll talk about that
Yeah.
later. But yeah, so it don't matter who you play. Your defense has got to be stout. Period.
right.
The end.
Defense
wins.
still wins championships. Ask the Bucks. Ask any team that's won a fucking Super Bowl the last 50-something years.
I have to agree with you. Yeah, they do. But yeah, their defense is just fucking awful. I mean, you can't rely solely on Mahomes. Even though their offense is pretty good, they still score fucking over 30 points a game, but you can't fucking do it.
And they have good... listen, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, and Tyrann Mathieu could be 3 of the best at their positions.
Right.
The drop-off is crazy after those 3.
Exactly. It's a team
Daniel
effort.
Sorensen? Are you kidding me? How's that guy still a starter on that team? He's been awful for about 4 years now, and he's still a starting defensive back on that damn Chiefs team. I don't get it.
Not to mention you got Anthony Hitchens. I think is he 50 yet?
I don't even know what the fuck that is, if you want to put that. I mean, who the fuck's that
He
guy?
used to be pretty good.
Oh,
He's
used to be.
Yeah, he's
Oh. And he plays for the Chiefs. That makes sense.
Legarius Sneed as their starting corner.
Willie Snead's brother? I don't know. Sure.
God knows. Mike Hughes.
Sure, yeah, that guy.
I'm looking at the depth chart. I don't know any of these people. I know Chris Jones, Frank Clark,
yeah.
Anthony Hitchens, Tyrann Mathieu, Daniel Sorensen.
Yeah. Most average player.
Travarius Ward.
Okay, I've heard of him. That doesn't mean anything good. I've heard of him.
Alex Okafor. There's another one. So
Yeah,
their defense is fucking horrible. I mean, and they invested some draft picks a couple of years ago, or the past 2-3 years, on defense, but obviously that hasn't turned out very well.
And then half of those players you pointed out are all off-season acquisitions.
Exactly.
So
defense sucks, but you want to go with the offense now?
Just a little bit because, they get 30 points a game, right? There's still not that great a production, in my opinion, in the run game. And offensively, the best teams still have a good run game. Unless you're the Bucks and you're playing the Dolphins, in which case you can just do whatever the fuck you want. But that doesn't happen every week. So here's my problem. In 5 games, the Patriots have a bad offense, I would think. But even we have a better rushing game than the fucking Chiefs. In 5 games, they only have 3 rushing touchdowns.
That's no surprise.
It's not a surprise, but it's been that way since Mahomes has been there.
Yep, they are one-dimensional.
And they haven't changed or fixed it at all. And I thought Edwards-Helaire was pretty good last year, but they just don't run it. They don't run the fucking football. And then they've got their offensive line, I still think, is pretty damn good. They got a good run blocker in Joe Tooney. I know about him. He's great. He was with us for 4 seasons, helped us win Super Bowls, right? They just don't run the fucking football. No. They actually have several good games on the season for yards, but it's limited rushes. They've only broke 30 attempts like 3 times in the last 2 seasons rushing.
That's running the clock out most of the time as
well.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. So they got to run the ball more. I think they could be a good rush team. They just don't do it. I don't know who really is calling plays. I think it's Andy Reid.
It's Andy.
So that's the guy I'm going to blame it on. Is Andy Reid.
It is.
He just loves Pat Mahomes throwing too much. He's got to give Pat Mahomes a chance to not have to throw the ball 50 times a game and be one-dimensional.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they are one-dimensional. Like we said with the Ravens, how they ran the ball a lot. Yep. They're a one-dimensional team. When they pass it, they lose. The time we said that, the year we said that, we both thought that the Titans were going to beat them in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Lamar Jackson had 56 pass attempts that game.
49% completion.
They scored 13 points.
Yep.
So, just like right now, they cannot run the ball, or they do not run the ball. I don't even think they'd be a good run team, to be honest with you.
You don't think so? I think they got the defensive, the offensive running backs to do it, and the decent line. I mean,
I believe it.
They got Kelsey can probably block a little bit. I mean,
I don't know what it is. I just don't. I feel like the reason they don't run the ball is because they can't run the ball. I don't know why, but that's because I figured Andy Reid, being the smart head coach he is,
you're right,
the smart offensive play caller he is, would figure that fucking
give
shit
him the
out.
benefit of the doubt. He is a Super Bowl champion coach.
Could you look up what their rushing yards a game is, or not game yards a game average carry, possibly?
No idea. Sure, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so also. John and Drew both came up with this topic idea. John said, he thinks that Patrick Mahomes is overrated. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want to say he's overrated. He's a great quarterback. He can throw the ball a fucking mile, accurate on a dime, make some great plays.
Yeah.
But he did make a good stat.
Oh, I love this
with a good stat.
That's right.
Last year, Patrick Mahomes was top 3 in turnover-worthy plays with 23. Now, me and you have both said that when he gets under pressure or he's getting rushed outside the pocket, whatever, he fucking throws the damn ball, and 9 times out of 10 it should be picked off, but he sees Tyreek Hill's scary little fucking ass down the field, comes down with it, blah, blah, ball goes through a defensive player's hands, and it's a completion. He does this shit all the time.
Yeah.
And especially his first year, he would chunk that bitch straight down the fucking field, not even blinking an eye, and 9 times out of 10, it was a completion. So,
I agree.
I think he's just fucking lucky as shit. I'm not saying he's bad, but he does get lucky, and with that scheme, it works. What'd you see about the Chiefs?
Shockingly, I'm kind of impressed. 5.1 yards a carry at 640 rushing yards. So they're actually they're like 8th in the league in rushing numbers. I don't know. When I looked up the numbers earlier, I didn't realize that. I just looked at a couple of games I saw that were pretty awful where they didn't break 30. Now, granted, that 30 mark does span to 2020. So
okay. Well, they also were probably playing down in those games.
Possibly.
Which is surprising with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Now, they play Washington in Week 6. They can bounce back against them. They got a great defense, but Washington defense can't.
What a fucking disappointing fucking team.
Oh, yeah, you're telling me.
Defensively, anyway. Offense is about average. But
in 2 of my 6 fantasy leagues, I got them as my defense.
Yeah,
so
same.
You're fucking telling me. They were projected 4th in the league. So, yeah, the Chiefs, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is necessarily bad. I don't think he's overrated. It's just that defense is just fucking awful. Mm-hmm. And they're going to squeak into the playoffs, obviously. It's the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah.
But they ain't getting far.
A little quick snippet for you. In the 3 losses they have, because they're 2-3, in those games, Pat Mahomes thrown 5 picks. He already has 6 picks on the season. Last season,
wow,
they went to the Super Bowl, obviously. He had 6 picks in the whole season. So he's off to the worst start of his career, which is a young career. And it's still a decent start. He's got 16 fucking touchdowns. But a lot of turnovers.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
So, going to the Chargers, I think we both know why the Chargers are killing it. Can we say it on 3? 1, 2, 3.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Right.
That's the only thing I have about this whole segment is Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, 1,576 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks, a 104 rating. They are just fucking killing it on offense.
They are. He and Dak are like twins right now. Statistically, they're almost like twins. 13 touchdowns, 3 picks. High rating of average, right just over 100, 104. Mm-hmm. It's one of the best in the league. He's top 4 in almost every statistical category, and they're putting up 40-point games. I mean, let's go down the line here. Week 1 or their last win was in a shootout, almost 100 points, right? 47-42. They beat the Cleveland Browns. Mm-hmm. Then you got Kansas City, 30-24. That was a clutch win, awesome win. I thought it was a great win. Now it's looking like just a decent win, seeing how the Chiefs are playing. And then he had 2 fourth quarter touchdowns against the Raiders on Monday Night Football last week. Sunday Night Football, sorry.
Good for them.
So, they're putting up a lot of good points, man. He's just a playmaker. And I said it, only 3 picks, dude, the turnovers. He's so good. People forget this is his second year, right? Mm-hmm. Rookie of the year last year. We thought Joe Burrow would probably win it if he played because he was playing really well to start last season. And he's playing like a 6-year veteran. He really is.
He is.
He's so comfortable. And I'll give him this. He's got weapons. He's got Keenan Allen. Super underrated. I mean, this guy can get 10 catches a game. I think he almost does. He's got probably the biggest receiver in fucking football, Mike Williams. I don't know what he is, but he fucking looks about 6'4", and he's got big hands, tall, red zone threat. He's got Austin Eckler, who's one of the best running backs, dual threat running backs in the game. He's got a decent O-line. Their defense is suspect, though. You had mentioned they were average. And then you said, was it rushing or passing that they're the worst in the league at?
Rushing.
The worst defensive...
worst defense against the run.
Yeah. That tells you how good Herbert's playing. Yeah. He's got nothing on the other side. The other team probably scores every other time they have the ball. Yeah. So that's what he's got to work with. And they're still winning. They're 4-1.
And when you are the worst defense against the run, you don't win many games.
There's no way. You shouldn't.
You don't control the clock. You don't control the game, so your offense doesn't come on the field, and they still score over fucking 30 points.
Yeah, and when they do, they got to be perfect, man.
Which is impressive. They score every fucking drive. Yeah, they have to.
That's right.
They have to. I want to go back and look at the time of possession in these games because they got to be losing it.
Which is really fucking impressive.
They got to be. It is impressive. So
it must come down to turnovers. It really should. It has to.
Yeah, Justin Herbert killing it, but Brandon Staley, their head coach, fucking killing it as well. The balls that it takes to have these calls. He had the call against the Ravens, right? Was it the Ravens?
Which one?
The 4th down. Going for it to end the game. Yep. He just had one last game too. Fucking killing it. I mean, granted, if we say that or when he calls these plays and it goes the opposite way, the bad way in the Chargers, we're going to say it was fucking stupid. But
that's how it always is.
To have it's either to have trust in your offense and Justin Herbert, which I believe it is, or you don't have a lot of trust in your defense.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it. But Justin Herbert's killing it. Brandon Staley, good job for on you for the head coach. But yeah, even their offense rushing the ball, averaging 4.3 yards a carry, killing it in that category. Their defense is top 10 against the pass, but worse against the rush.
Yeah.
And like you said, the weapons. Austin Eckler, elusive back. He doesn't look elusive.
He looks like a
power back.
He does. He's even got that big neck thing, a little neck pad. But he breaks tackles. He's fast, dude. That guy's something. He is weird though. Mm-hmm. He's bald, so he takes his helmet off. You're like, damn, this guy played fullback or something.
He doesn't.
Nah, dude, he's a fast.
He doesn't look like an elusive running back. And then Jared Cook's killing it too.
Oh yeah,
I love Jared Cook.
Yep,
he's been great.
He's been great for a couple different teams.
Yeah,
Raiders.
But yeah, so do you think they're gonna win the AFC West?
It'll be close. I'm interested to see what the Raiders do their second matchup.
Right.
Because 28-14, a couple possession game isn't that big, and they were a few plays away. The Raiders were from making that a close game just a couple weeks ago. So, that will be their only competition right now, unless the Chiefs randomly decide to change their identity completely, like we've been talking about. Or their defense magically just gets a lot fucking better. They're not going to be in it. It'll just be the Raiders. The Raiders are their only competition, and that's good competition. But I still think they'll win.
Now, how odd is that not to say the Chiefs are in there?
I mean, most of our lives we said that, right? They've only been good for 2 years, 3 years. I'll give them 3 years.
Like AFC that good.
Yeah, it's weird.
They always make it to the playoffs. They lose that.
Because you look at the stars on their team, they have arguably the best quarterback, probably the best quarterback in football, arguably the best tight end in football. Great offensive line. They got a great head coach. They got this super fast receiver, and that's all you hear about are those three. And then even defensively, they got 3 All-Pro players, like first-team All-Pro players. Yeah. And you go, how are they so bad? Well, that's all they got.
Is it safe to say that teams figured out how to beat them?
I was going to talk about that earlier, but then, the picks are bad, but, he's still about almost 70% completion. Yeah. Leads the league in touchdowns, 30 points a game. It's...
Let's give it a couple weeks and then come back to that.
I was going to say that about the Chargers as well. 'Cause I don't want to do this to them because I hate the fucking Cardinals in Kingsbury, as you know. But it's almost got that feeling, like kind of Kyler Murray, like, oh, they're good. They started 5-2 last season. The Cardinals did, and they were looking the same way. They were winning, they're tied for their division lead. You're like, damn. And then shit hit the fan, right? Yeah. So we got to see what happens. I don't have a look at their schedule, so I don't really know how that's going to go down the road. But that could change too.
Yeah, I think they will win the AFC West. I don't think the Ravens are gonna, or not Raiders are gonna really contest with them. They'll be up there, but I don't think they're gonna be anywhere near the Chargers.
Yeah, Derek Carr kind of came back to earth a little bit as well.
But yeah, so I think the Chargers are the shit. Chiefs fans, don't panic yet. I think y'all are all right.
Panic. I love when they panic.
Yeah, I don't like hype, and they're getting hyped up to the tier. They've been hyped up for the